A used BMW or Mercedes looks like a steal. Luxury, leather, a badge that says you made it, for the price of a Honda. Here's what they don't tell you. BMW stands for Break My Wallet. Coolant parts made of plastic that crack and strand you, oil leaking from every gasket, repair bills of $10, $20, even $40,000. On cars, people bought cheap. Watch these owners find out, and once you see why, you'll understand that affordable luxury is the most expensive trap on the lot. Real quick, if you're tired of car companies selling you a payment plan and hiding the problems, smash that like button. And we just passed 1,000 subscribers. If you want to see this channel hit 2,000, subscribe. It's completely free and it keeps the channel going. All right, let's get into it.
I'm in Boston, so you know what that means. If you hadn't followed me for a while, you would know that I had about $13,000 in repair costs, okay?
$13,000 in repairs on one BMW. And he's not even done. He's chasing a check engine light he's had since August, waiting on a computer module that Germany only has 4 of on the entire planet. This is what affordable used BMW actually means. You don't own the car, you fund it.
But if you guys don't know, there was an issue where we thought that BMW damaged this DME, but it ends up actually being the DME 2, which is this one right here. If I got a mistake, I'm sorry, but this is the one that is damaged, and that's the one that they're going to replace. So a while back, if you don't remember this video right here, my car has over $13,000 in repair costs. 2 sensor is fixed, and my flex disc is also fixed. There was the check engine light that was still not coming off. So go watch my previous videos to get caught up on why I don't have my car and why I have over $13,000 in damages. I went to BMW, they checked out the problem and they isolated it to make sure it wasn't an engine harness issue or a DME issue. And they swapped out the DME and they figured out it was a DME issue. So I emailed the one guy from BMW and he said that Germany only has 4 DMEs for my car and it's about $1,900.
Sit with that. A $1,900 computer, and there are 4 left in the world. When a part is that rare and that expensive, you're not driving a car anymore. You're holding a lottery ticket that only pays out in repair bills.
Hopefully, and that was in January, so hopefully they still have at least one DME that I can get from them. I'm going to email them today to see if they can secure that DME for me so we can get that check engine light off. I definitely had this check engine light since August, so we need to take care of that. And I also want to put those intakes back on, so after that gets done, those intakes are getting put back on. They're sitting in my trunk and oh my god, they just this car sounds so good with intakes. So as soon as this gets fixed, we're putting those intakes back on and we're gonna get some sound clips because apparently there's some kid with this orange car who thinks his intakes sound good. Whatever. Yeah, that's the update on the car. I know you guys have been waiting for an update. I haven't done an update video in a long time, but that check engine light is gonna get put off. So honestly, I don't know what exactly was wrong with that DME, but BMW is working with me and they're gonna cover the programming and the labor, whatever. All I gotta do is pay for the part. But we just need to get this taken care of because I'm tired of seeing that trophy. I had that trophy for a long time and I'm just gonna take it and pass it to somebody else. If you wanna stay tuned and you wanna see any updates on this car, make sure to follow for more content.
I'm on the way to collect my BMW i8. For those of you who aren't in the know, it's been in the main dealer for nearly 4 months getting fixed with an issue it had. This is gonna be interesting. I'm finally back in my i8 after nearly 4 months and I got the invoice today and it's absolutely stomach churning. It's a 5 digits, 42.5 grand to fix the issues with this BMW i8.
42,500. Not the price of the car, the repair bill. You could buy 2 more cars for what one BMW cost her to fix. And here's the wild part. She's not even angry. That's how normalized this has become. A $40,000 repair, and the reaction is a shrug.
Which is all connected to the hybrid part of the car. Not the ICE part, the hybrid part. But it's everything to do with the cell modules, the connectors, the EME, all the hybrid parts of the car. And I have to say, BMW were amazing to deal with. They communicated everything with me. They were on to me the whole time. They were extremely sympathetic about the whole situation. So Am I resentful to BMW? Absolutely no way. It is what it is. I love BMW. I'm going to keep this i8 for as long as I can, and I'm going to continue to always buy BMW. I absolutely love them as a brand, and I think that they're amazing. It isn't about the infrastructure. This is about the inside knowledge, about the skilled labour, about technology, like a car that's been out, 9 years. My service advisor was amazing in BMW. He even fought for a 45% discount on the parts, which he achieved. So I do know that they did their absolute best to mitigate the bill as much as possible. If it was the same issues with an ICE car, it would cost half maybe. I blew an engine there of an X5M. It was remapped and the engine blew, and to get the whole engine replaced all in was in about 18 grand.
And notice she just casually drops that she also blew the engine on an X5M, 18 grand for that one. That's 2 catastrophic BMW bills from one owner, mentioned like they're parking tickets. Even the people who love the brand are quietly bleeding money to keep them running.
So there you go. Hybrid cars, they're not out long enough to deal with things that can go wrong, and they are still very costly.
As some of you guys know, I got my bumper and headlight replaced, and let me show you guys how much this thing cost. Here's the description, labor, price, and all that good stuff. Here's the labor work and all the prices. So for a new bumper, headlight, and labor, that's how much you have to pay. Jeez! I'm not gonna lie, insurance got finessed. How the hell are they paying $7,000 for this? That's crazy.
$7,000 for a bumper and a headlight. Not the engine, not the transmission. A bumper and a headlight. He got lucky insurance covered it, but read that number. On a BMW, a fender bender costs what a whole used car costs. Imagine that landing in your lap out of pocket.
Customers are always asking me, Ryan, why do you not like BMWs? What is it about a BMW that you don't like? Let me show you. Everything in the car is plastic. Everything is plastic, and it's so brittle. This broke in my hands.
Watch it crumble in his hand. This is the mechanic's answer to, why don't you like BMWs? Everything under the hood is plastic. The water pump impeller, the coolant lines, the actuators. You're paying top-dollar luxury prices for parts made of brittle plastic that dry rots and snaps. And when it snaps, you leak, you overheat, you pay.
But you can see where it's dry rotted. The white is stress marks and dry rotted. So everything is brittle and plastic. Even replacing such as the water pump, the impeller inside the water pump, plastic. This fin, vacuum actuated fin, plastic. It is all plastic. All these coolant line hoses, they are all some form of plastic. This vehicle that you guys are paying so much money for, yes, they're nice vehicles. They look beautiful, right? They're a beautiful piece of equipment. They look beautiful. But y'all have no idea what y'all are really paying for. You guys are paying for brittle plastic. Do you believe things that get hot and cold should be made in plastic, or it should be made with something that lasts longer? The materials that they're putting in this is cheap as hell, and you guys are paying top dollar for this. As a mechanic, would I ever drive one of these? Hell no. Nice to own, it'll break your wallet.
Today we're working on a BMW F22 with the B58 engine, and the client complained about coolant loss. First thing we did, a full cooling system pressure test. Now the B58 engine cooling components are plastic and electric, which means when they fail properly.
When they fail properly. That's a mechanic being polite. The plastic expansion tank cracks, the water pump leaks, and on a B58 that overheating doesn't just strand you, it can take the whole engine with it. A $200 plastic part failing turns into a 5-figure engine job.
Two major leak points we identified. It is the expansion tank. These tanks commonly crack along the seams or around the hose connections. Small crack, slow leak, but over time, major damage. The second one, it is the water pump. When this pump starts leaking, you'll usually see coolant dripping underneath the front of the engine. If ignored, it can cause overheating very quickly. If you are driving a 240i, 340i or B58 powered BMW and you are topping up coolant often, don't ignore it. Overheating on a B58 engine can cost you an engine. Rather do a proper pressure test and save yourself thousands.
Here are 3 things that you need to look out for on your N20 to keep it reliable. Now, number 1 is going to be your oil filter housing gasket, which connects this oil filter housing here to your actual engine block. And the gasket in between that can cause you to start leaking oil, and usually you'll have to do that on almost any N20. The second thing is going to be your valve cover gasket. Similarly, you're going to be leaking oil.
Listen to the list. Oil filter housing gasket, leaking oil. Valve cover gasket, leaking oil. Charge pipes, cracking. And this is the Keep It Reliable video. These aren't things that might go wrong. He says almost every one of these engines does it. A BMW doesn't develop leaks. It comes with them.
Probably somewhere in the front here or in the back corner. And if you're smelling burning oil from inside of the car, it's probably your valve cover gasket leaking oil onto your downpipe, and then the fumes are coming into your car. And the third thing I would recommend is changing out your stock charge pipes. You're gonna have one pipe on the left here connecting to your intercooler, and then this one on the other side connecting your intercooler to your throttle body. These can go out and crack and ultimately cause a boost leak, so I just got some metal ones to go ahead and replace it. Now, there are a ton of other things that you can worry about if you want to on this N20, and I can do another video covering that if you guys are interested, but those are some of the 3 biggest things. And no, I did not forget the timing chain guide issue, but I did make an entire other video on that. But let me know what problems you guys have had on your N20 and what you guys think we should look out for, and make sure to let me know what you guys think as well. Let's make my BMW more reliable. So this right here is a fully metal Mickey Mouse flange from ECS Tuning, and this is a failure point on a ton of different BMWs, and that includes the N20, N55, N54, and N52.
One little plastic coolant flange, and it's a known failure point across basically every BMW engine, the N20, N55, N54, N52. When it cracks, coolant dumps out and you're stranded. They designed a $2 plastic part into a car stopping event and put it in the whole lineup.
You need to get this done, otherwise you could get stranded. Now the fix is super easy. First, we're gonna open up this coolant hose here. This is the actual flange. And now we're just gonna go ahead and pull this, and a bunch of coolant should come out here. It's a lot of coolant. There it goes. And now we're just gonna open this up with the Torx. And now we should be able to pull this out, just wiggling it. And here we go, we got it out, and ours actually doesn't look too bad. But here we got the new one, which is fully metal. Now let's go ahead and stick this new one in here. And the new pipe is in. Now we just need to tighten it down and we should be good. And thanks to ECS Tuning, we got some OEM coolant right here, and we put a 30% mix in this bottle. So we're gonna go ahead and fill it up, because as you can see, our level dropped. And here we go, filling her up. Now we need to start the bleed procedure, which you just got to do some cheat code buttons and it should start the water pump. And as you can see, the water pump is going. And there we go, that's a job well done. We got this nice new pipe with the new flame. Huge thank you to ECS Tuning for hooking us up, and I definitely recommend that all you guys do this to your F-Series BMW, because if not, coolant can start spilling out here and leave you stranded. I think for all BMWs, these are the same, so if you want to check this one out, I will leave the link to it in my bio.
So if anyone's wondering how much it costs to get your timing chain replaced, a little bit of money. Anyway, so I got my timing chain done. That came with an oil change as well. Got my EGR valve replaced. Yep, whatever. And then I got my DPF taken out, cleaned and regened, and then also refitted, obviously. And the total cost for that was like just a small chunk of change of £1.5 thousand. So if anyone was deciding on whether to get an M47, don't for your own safety, and save yourself the headache and get yourself a nice car instead.
Timing chain, EGR valve, DPF, one visit, 1,500 pounds gone. And his advice at the end is the whole video in one word: don't. When the owner himself is begging strangers not to buy the car he owns, that's not a review. That's a warning label.
You youngsters that want this BMW 330e, watch this video. Some of you guys want this car so badly at the young ages of like 21. Let me tell you what it comes with. First of all, if your one has M technology brakes on it, which are the blue calipers, you'll be paying plus £1,000 for discs and pads on the front alone. If you're doing the back brake pads, that's probably another 800 quid or so. You got problems with the oil filter housing on them, £1,000 job there with the parts.
He's talking to the 21-year-olds who want the badge. Listen to the running total: 1,000 for brakes, 1,000 for the oil filter housing, 1,000 for the heat exchanger, coolant leaks everywhere, yearly servicing, electrical gremlins. Before you've driven anywhere, the car's asking for more than it's worth. The badge is cheap. Owning it is the trap.
Then you got problem with the heat exchanger on it. That's another probably £1,000. Then you have multiple coolant leaks around, flanges, pipes, everywhere. Let's say 200-300 quid for the sake of it. Then you have your regular servicing that you have to do on it yearly, which is going to set you back about 300-400 quid. Then you got an MOT a year, which is 55 quid. Then you got to pay your road tax on it. Then you got to also pay your insurance. Then you got to also think about, oh, maybe someone's nicked it. You got to pay for all of the extra body work, which will cost you like £200-300 per panel. Then you got to think about all the other electrical things going wrong on the inside, like the ambient lighting, and like this is not working, and someone's just hit your wind mirror, which costs 700 quid. And to top it all off, you got to actually insure it, and if you're financing it, you got to pay the interest on the car. So there's actually no point. Youngsters, me being a little bit of an old head, I'm telling you, save your dosh, mate. Save your money. Forget about it. BMWs are trash now.
This is your sign to never, ever, ever buy a BMW, or as I like to call them, big money waste.
Big money waste. She's not wrong. The glove box won't open, the leather is peeling and melting onto the handle, the sunroof looks like it's growing mold, and she had to have the car towed because they couldn't get the hood latch open to put an oil cap back on. This is the luxury you're financing.
Look how nice and luxurious. I just love how the glove box does not open and the leather is peeling up, and how it's melting on the handlebars, so anyone that gets in your car gets goop all over them. I just love the sunroof looking like it has mold. Not to mention, it's $90 to fill up. I love it. But in all seriousness, this is the worst car I've ever drove in my life. A few days ago, we were changing the oil, and we had to get the cap off, but my dad dropped it inside the hood, and it was dark outside, so we couldn't find it. So we got a new cap because we couldn't find the other one, and then we went to go put it on, and my hood wouldn't open. And I didn't want to drive my car because I didn't want oil to go everywhere when I drive it, so I had to get the car towed and taken somewhere for them to open the latch and put the oil cap back on. Not to mention I need new shocks and struts because every time I go over a bump, I go, like.
Are BMWs unreliable or just expensive to maintain?
Both. BMW, I don't know if you guys know this, stands for Break My Wallet because they are not reliable and they're extremely expensive to maintain.
Break My Wallet. That's the shop's nickname for the brand. His honest take? Past 100,000 miles, they fall apart, and it's rare to see one hit 200,000 without a dashboard full of warning lights. Fun to drive, he says. Give a little, it takes a lot. The little is the drive, the lot is your bank account.
I'm a big believer that if you're going to own a BMW, 0 to like 100,000 miles is a fair aspect. You're still going to have to do certain repairs and obviously normal maintenance. After 100,000 miles, BMWs become significantly less reliable. Now, don't get me wrong, the owner, the maintenance of it, how you repair your vehicle, etc., will contribute to the longevity of your BMW. It's rarer to see a BMW exceed 150,000 miles without a ton of issues or lights on the dash. Really rare to see them go past 200,000 miles. Don't get me wrong, we've got 2 BMWs with over 200,000 miles in the shop right now, so it can be done. It's just in a general consensus, when you look at the 10-year route of a lifespan of a BMW, they're not as reliable. I would make the argument they're one of the most unreliable vehicles out there, but they're one of the funnest and nicest cars to drive because of how the luxurious items are with that particular car. So give a little, and it takes a lot.
Brett, this is your control arms. The bushings are completely blown out on both sides. Here's the other side. Yeah, the bushings are broken, completely broken. So you need 4 control arms. You need the forward ones, these, and you need the back ones, those.
Both sides, front and back, 4 control arms, all blown out at once. That's suspension parts plus hours of labor. And on a BMW, every one of those pieces is a premium price. It's never one thing on these cars. It's always a list, and the list is always expensive.
Okay, folks, so you follow me with this repair. Look what happened to this new air spring that we just put in yesterday. It blew up. Let's get to the bottom of it and see what's going on. Look at this. That's the inside of an air spring. Just the bellows. Let me show you what I found. So here I'm at the driver's front. I'm looking around. Okay, look at this. We got a new strut on the driver's front. Okay, let's go to the passenger side. Now this customer just bought this car from the auction. We got a new strut here on the passenger side. It's possible they was trying to fix a problem because they just bought this from the auction, so they're unfamiliar with the car. Look right here. We have a new suspension compressor here on the front of the vehicle. But look what they missed. Let me show you. Okay, this is what they failed to replace. This is the air suspension control valve. You got 6 ports here. What happens is that you have 6 air lines that go to that valve. Each of these air lines, they go to a strut in the reservoir. So what's happening with this air suspension control valve is that, look, you can see that little swelling right there, that hill. That's the failure inside the valve. Too much air, let too much air bypass, is actually blowing this valve apart. So we got the new one in. New one is in with the lines, and like I said, as you can see, that's flat. No swelling up top. Calibrate and get it out of here.
This is what air suspension really means. A brand new air spring blew apart the day after install because one control valve deep in the system failed and overpressurized it. Struts, compressor, control valve. Each one a small fortune, and if you miss one, it destroys the next. That's the luxury ride. It rides great right up until it bankrupts you. So here's the bottom line. The cheap price on a used BMW or Mercedes isn't the deal, it's the bait. The car is affordable. Owning it is what breaks you. If you want luxury, buy the repair fund to go with it, or keep something that won't bankrupt you every time a plastic part cracks. Tell me in the comments, what's the worst repair bill a luxury car ever hit you with? I read everyone. Subscribe. The next one's a brand you'll want to see.